Hello and welcome to Creative Rebellion, a space on the internet where we inspire each other to be more creative, where I can help you step into your creativity. I have found myself outside the William Morris Society accidentally. I've been in London traveling around and the kids wanted to go to the River Thames, and we found ourselves in this special place where William Morris used to live. And I wanted to go inside here today, but I couldn't because it was closed, unfortunately. But I just felt inspired to start my new episode here. First of all, I just want to thank you for all those that have already watched my episodes and have commented on how it has helped them be more creative in their lives. And I want to say sorry for not making content so far this year. I've actually really struggled with our weather, and as we're in a new season, I've really felt the creativity rise up within me, and for me to be able to make some things and create has been really fun. So here I am starting off the new year with Creative Rebellion on this topic, which is grit versus talent. Our society is actually obsessed with talent over everything else. And I know talent can be very beautiful and wonderful, especially when you see someone with natural raw talent. I want to propose something new actually, that grit is something we should be leaning into. Grit is something we should be teaching and helping people to learn well. And I believe that if we had a society full of grit, then we would be more creative. And in this episode, I want to say why that is and how we can hopefully look at how grit together can have a part to play in our creativity and our everyday lives. This new episode is called Grit versus Talent. I'm back in Cambridge now, and I'm on the way to a photo shoot in the Botanical Gardens, which should be really exciting. And I want to tell you 3 stories about grit and why I'm talking about grit today. I was talking to my friend Pete McCallan, who is a musician and now more of a general artist. He has studied graphic design. I asked him, do you have much natural talent? And he said, no, you know what? I don't. It's all grit. And that really excited me because I feel the same way actually. I don't have much natural talent. And so that made me feel more connected to my friend Pete. Number 2, my wife is a wonderful, talented violinist, but she's had this difficult relationship with practicing. She doesn't really like to practice. She sees it more of as a burden, as something she doesn't like to do. And because she hasn't practiced and pushed herself and applied herself with those natural talents that she has with music, her talent of playing the violin hasn't gone anywhere. And of course that's her choice. And if she wanted to, she could go anywhere she wanted. But it just shows you that natural talent isn't enough a lot of the times. You need to apply it with grit to see that talent reach its full potential. I am someone that doesn't have a lot of natural talent, and this always seems to upset people because they think and say, oh, you're someone with lots of talent, you're great at this, you're great at that. And that's always nice that they're doing that and saying those things. I don't need them to say those things. But when I look at myself at the base level, I don't have a lot of natural talent. A lot of it is hard work, grit, perseverance, earned over time, struggling to make and grow and learn. And I'm really glad that I have learned and become the artist that I am through that method, because I feel like I have a great groundwork to do anything that I want to do. And I see myself as someone that can do anything because of that. And that actually really excites me. So I wouldn't say I have a lot of natural talent, but I have grit and perseverance to be able to help me become the person, the artist, the creative that I want to be. We are in a society that naturally worships talent. And rightfully so, because it can be beautiful, big, bright, expressive, and if we're going to be honest, everyone would prefer to be naturally talented, right? Because everything would be easy, everything seems to just happen, and we prefer people who are naturally talented. And I can see that in my workplace, and I can see that in everything that I do. The natural talented seem to have a natural step above everybody else because Maybe it might be genetics, it might be where they've been born, but it seems like everything is easier for them for sure. I work with a lot of natural communicators and I'm recording them all the time. Some people can edit as they're talking, some people can make things up on the spot, some people can learn something within seconds. Some people are learning 20-30 minutes of content and delivering it first time with little or no mistakes, and it's just wonderful to see. And it's very evident to me that these people have natural talent, and it can be easy for me to look at that and compare myself and think, well, I am not that, so I shouldn't be communicating, I shouldn't be talking in front of people, because clearly that is a gift for them and not for me. But I like to disagree, because I believe in the power of grit. I've seen that outworked in my life for sure, because I am really gritty. What is the problem of worshipping talent, especially if it's something that we all want and desire, and when we see it in others, we go really giddy and get really excited? Well, here is a quote from Michael Gladwell that suggests that talent promotes narcissism in some. It could encourage short-term performance, but discourage long-term learning and growth. If we place talent on a pedestal, then we risk undermining everything else that matters, including grit. This is a massive mistake, especially because within ourselves, if we are not naturally talented, we can look down on the skills that we might have the opportunity to develop, especially to do with creativity. And a lot of creativity is to do with learning and showing up and doing that thing consistently. A lot of the artistic skills are not really about natural talent. This is something that gets really confused, and therefore it can be easy for each one of us to look at ourselves and think, oh, we're not naturally talented as that, so we shouldn't do that. In reality, if we applied grit to our creativity, especially our artistry, you will find over time you would actually learn and grow and become a better artist. And this is something I'm passionate about because I've seen it within myself. If you apply grit over time with something to do with artistry and creativity, you will become better, because I've seen it within myself. There's definitely some of you out there that could be artistically talented with some things, drawing, painting, music, whatever it is, but because you think you're not naturally talented, you almost feel like you don't deserve to apply grit over time to those things, because right now the results aren't worth it. But if we thought and shifted our mindset, one from talent to grit, maybe you could transform an artistic skill or become more creative. I think you'll find that most artistic talents are to do with grit and perseverance anyway. So if you shifted your mindset into one that looks at your life and think, how could I grow, become better artistically and in my creativity through applying grit, I think over time you'll realize that talent starts to rise up and you start to become able to do things you weren't before because you're applying grit to your life. So over time we can develop talent with our artistic skills, and that means anything right now that you're not thinking about that could be a talent might be a talent. Number two, having a gritty mentality can shift you from the idea that failure is a permanent state to one of transformation. And I really love this because failure does affect me. It affects my mental health, my anxiety, and I can realize that it's not permanent. It can help me grow from someone that's not very good at something to someone who is very good at something by making mistakes and learning and growing and looking at how I'm making mistakes. And I love that about grit. It takes something that might be negative and pushes it into more of a positive atmosphere, a positive mindset. If you have enjoyed this episode today, a bird has just pooed on my arm. So gross, so annoying. Ah. I hate birds when they do that. At least it didn't hit me on the head. Ah. Here is a strategy for grit. I really wanted to give you some tips and help with learning how to be more gritty in your life. Number one, establish clear goals. maintain consistency, develop resilience, be open to experience and feedback, and having a growth mindset. I can honestly say that I've applied these to my creativity, my graphic design, my photography, my web design. Anything that I have done with my artistry and my creativity has grown because I've applied grit over time that has been resilient and persistent, and I have found myself talented because of that. I am not someone who is naturally talented, but I would say now that I'm full of talent, and it's because I've applied grit to my life, and I'm excited to share that with you, to encourage you to be gritty and to look at yourself with your talents and your creativity and work out how you can excel them and push them to another level. If this video has inspired you today, could you subscribe? I have a low goal of 100 subscribers initially for this channel. I'm excited to help and encourage you to be more creative in your life. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get updated when I next release a video. And please comment, join in. I really love creating community online, and I can't wait to help you be more creative.